baby mothers and holidays. Would make plans for the holidays with my 11-year-old. And at the last minute, maybe the day before the holiday, I'd get a text that says, "We're going to split this day, aren't we?"
There's no agreement. There's no leverage. There's really no compromise whatsoever. It's she always wants them, and I always get the shit end of the stick.
With several billion members, the human race is divided in two distinct sexes, male and female. While men are simple creatures requiring only the most rudimentary of emotional needs to be satisfied, there is a subgroup classified as the nice guy, a dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex. Allegedly. However, they are dismissed, scoffed, and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone.
You don't think this is a little bit too dramatic? Just let it happen.
Joe and Jason are the last of the nice guys.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing?
You heard a deep sigh. Did you hear that? It was
What's going on? To this wonderful holiday called Thanksgiving. A lot of people don't even like saying that. They like saying Turkey Day.
No!
You're a holiday because they're offended
Wait,
by many things.
Joe, wait. Joe, wait. Your stuff froze. You were like,
Oh man.
oh my God, that's so funny. All right, sorry, Joe.
Yo.
You were doing so well. What happened?
It froze again. It froze again.
You should have
Yeah.
seen. You should know. You look
Right,
really funny.
right. You were right in the middle of saying something, and then audio and video just stopped.
Yeah, just like that. All right, start over again. Anytime.
I hate this shit. How's everybody doing today? We have a good episode and a very interesting. I'm doing shitty. And we have a very interesting episode today. I have a lot to talk about, but we're gonna cram it in a very subtle and small episode, I guess, because we all agreed that this was not going to be our famous 2-hour thing.
We have never done a
Stinge that
2-hour
we
episode.
usually
We've done
do.
an hour and a half. We've never done a 2-hour episode.
Regardless, we are going to do a really informative topic about something that really has been irking me for years. Let's just say 11 years, actually, to be exact. Actually relate to what I'm talking about. So yeah, take it away. Oh, actually, the topic for today is, I don't think this is like a proper title, but I'll try my best. Baby mothers and holidays.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, we're going to discuss the effects of how having the other parent pretty much affects your holiday joy. Pretty much affects your holiday joy and your and kind of just blows your entire fucking joy out the window when it comes to sharing your child for the holidays. Having to go back and forth, deciding last minute things.
There's your topic name. Sharing your child for the holidays with your baby mama. There you go. There's your topic.
Okay, I guess we could do that. Oh, look, the sun came out. I guess it's out for me. Wow.
Ray of sunshine.
Yeah, so ray of sunshine. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that because this has been plaguing me for a long time. and I don't know if you guys have any have had any issues with this with your kids and
Well, why don't you tell us
your kid's mother?
Well, tell us what's going on, or give us an abbreviated version of what's going on. What would inspire this topic, and then we'll get into it personally.
Okay.
Happy Thanksgiving, by the way, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Yes.
I'm thankful for my hookah.
I'm thankful to be here, happy and healthy, somewhat.
I would be thankful for Best Buy if they kept my fucking PS5 in the cart and stopped taking it out. But that's another story.
I'm also thankful to not have to worry about buying those consoles right now and the stress of that.
I'm not worried about that until 2021. I'm great.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's okay. So what's been going on is for about maybe this is a constant strict 11 years straight that has been happening with me, where I would make plans for the holidays with my 11-year-old, well, now 11-year-old, and at the last minute, maybe the day before the holiday, I'd get a text that says, "Oh, so we're going to split this day, aren't we?" But meanwhile, we forgot that we had a verbal agreement about how we're going to basically have one holiday for me and one holiday for you, for 1 year for me, 1 year for you, and this is how we would do it normally, and it would have we would have no issues. But it seems like every single year goes to the opposing parent for whatever reason. I'm sorry for the wind in the background. It's actually just got very windy all of a sudden. I'm not sure why.
I'd rather there be wind than your connection freezing. So carry on.
Yes. Yeah. So we have been battling back and forth, and it's only been during the holidays, like Thanksgiving and Christmas, the major two holidays, where we will battle with last minute plans that we seem to have forgotten the agreement with when it came to sharing our one and only child. So it annoys me because I'm not. I would say I'm a family man, but I'm not a
family man, right?
I wouldn't say that, but my immediate family has we have a lot of like holiday stuff going on during Thanksgiving, Christmas,
holiday stuff.
Celebration
gatherings.
Well, here's the thing:
a lot of holiday shit going on.
The new generation of us. The new generation. It's funny I'm saying that. We're starting to have children. We're starting to get married, so we have more additions. So that means I guess more holidays will start happening. Where more holiday gatherings will start happening. But when that happens, this is something that we pre-plan. It's like, for example, for Christmas, we're trying to go away to Pennsylvania, all of us collectively, for a house for like a week. And this was noted and told to my kid's mother. But I'm pretty sure the day of or the 2 days before, she's going to forget and say, "Hey, so are we ready to go ahead and I take him in the morning and you take him?" I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. So this is what bothers me a lot. There's no consistency. There's no consideration. I understand that she's the mom and she also wants to have him too. But if you made up this rule about having, you have him 1 year for the holidays and I have him the next, and you should stick by it instead of, being a dick, in other words. So that's my issue that I have. Inconsistency, inconsideration. It's not cool, man. Especially since your plans are locked, and this is your year to have him fully. It's frustrating. So, I mean, what do you guys think about this? Am I wrong? Am I wrong about this? Am I going crazy, or am I doing too much?
I mean, I think you're absolutely wrong. No, let me stop. Manny, I'm gonna have you jump into this. Because I have both perspectives, because I've been through it, been there, done that, and
as do I, because I have two different mothers of my children.
Rolling Stone.
So primarily with my son's mother, since we lived in like the same area as each other, we would split the holidays. It would never be an issue. It was we had a time, and it was normally because of work schedules. So I would work in the morning, so there she would have my son, for the first part of the day, and then I get off of work, start getting everything gathered, and then my son, I'd pick up my son, and then we spend the time with my family. At my girls, on the other hand, that's a completely different monster. There's there's no agreement, there's no leverage, there's really no compromise whatsoever. It's she always wants them, and I always get the shit end of the stick. In the process that I'm currently going through right now, basically, I put in the paperwork because, as Jason said in one of the episodes, that you get a schedule going, and that's what you have to abide by. I put in there basically it has to be agreed on by each parent, also based on work schedules, because I'm not going to have my children on a holiday while I'm working. That makes absolutely no sense for me. So I try to get so I try to get that agreement going, and just be on the same page, but for the most part, I do understand the frustration, because without the consistency and without being on the same level and agreeing on everything and taking your word back, it's disheartening as a parent, because you get everything all set to go and get the family going, especially right now in the crazy times that we're currently living in. All you want to do is have everybody together as healthy as they can be, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, psych, I lied, and I'm going to take it back for you for a second. It's definitely annoying as shit. But yeah, currently I'm yeah, psych. Sorry, you thought you were going to have a great Thanksgiving. But like today, for instance, I work. So for me, like the holidays, if I'm working on the holidays, I really don't care what happens. If I see my children, if I don't, I mean, not that I don't want to see my children, but it's of course. Yeah, but it's just, if I'm working, I'm like, I don't really care. Like if they're gonna let them spend time with the family, because for me the holidays are for the kids. So if they're gonna be with their family, enjoy it. Whatever. I'll make it up to them on another day. For me,
right.
It's just how it is for me.
Okay. All right, so I'll dovetail up on that. The holidays don't mean anything to me. Not the occasion, the day. Right. I don't care about the day. I never care about the day. I will celebrate Christmas the week before, the week of, the week after. I'll celebrate birthdays the week of, the week before, the week after. The day itself never meant anything to me, so long as I was able to celebrate with them on that particular holiday, whenever it was. I've always felt that way. That the day itself was inconsequential. It's the occasion, and it is the time spent with the offspring. That being said, pre court battle, it was the same thing as Joe, which is basically, if the holidays fell, my parenting schedule has always been Sunday to Wednesday, and then she would get Thursday to Friday, Wednesday nights. Basically, Wednesdays would be our cutoff day. So basically, it was always, if it fell on your day, it fell on your day. Cool, right? But that's how it was when it was on her day. But when it fell on my day, it would be a problem sometimes. Will I want them? Because, well, her ruling was, well, I have family down here. We have family events. They're going to just stay with you and do nothing, which is not necessarily true. But by comparison, yes, I have no family down here. So yeah, she actually would have a legitimate point. But I'd be like, well, it's my time, my day. I'm not going to, I like to keep them on my time. It's my day. But she would do that. Same thing as what Joe said. We would have an agreement. Well, okay, well, I'm going to be with you, and all of a sudden I'm coming to pick them up, or they're not brought back on time, or stuff like that. And it became an issue. It would drive me nuts sometimes, because I would sit here saying, okay, well, it's Christmas, and they'll be brought back to me, and I'm waiting, and they don't ever show up, or they come so late that it makes no sense to even celebrate that night. So
right.
I've been there.
I've had that happen before too.
Exactly. And it used to be really, especially for Father's Day. Father's Day used to be a big issue for me, because Father's Day seems to always land on a Sunday, and that's our exchange day. And she wouldn't exchange them on time, or she'd delay it. There was one Father's Day that I had prepared parasailing for me and my boys. Right, we're gonna go parasailing.
Wow.
And it was paid for. It was ready. It was Miami Beach. I told the boys, listen, make sure that you're up early and call me when you're up. Hey, we got to get you. We have plans. They didn't know about it. They didn't call me till the middle of the day.
Oh, wow.
And I was really upset with them. I said, what happened? Why didn't you tell me? Because I wasn't going to come over till you guys were up and ready to go. And I even sent a text. Hey, don't forget to call me when you're ready. You don't need to be up early. Then they told me, well, our mom said don't contact you yet because we wanted to do a special breakfast with our, the stepfather. And I said, what?
Nah, bro.
Oh.
I said we had planned. Please believe I never got that. I lost all that money. There's no cancellation like that. You don't get a refund because you cancel the same day. And I was beyond pissed about that. And that's
wow.
No. Understand? She didn't know I had those plans. She didn't know that I had prepared that. But at the same time, it was exactly. But at the same time, it was my day. I usually get them around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. We had to be there at 9. I didn't get a contact from them until going on 11, because she had said, "Don't contact your dad yet. We're gonna do this for your poppy." So, that's just one example of things that
Manny's face.
Can't stand that shit.
I understand it completely. That's why I'm just like,
exactly. No. Now
that
post court battle, okay, and all the other crap, the courts gave us our rules. That's it. Every holiday is broken up. It's alternating holidays on alternating years. So I have even, she has odd, but nobody gets all the holidays.
Right.
Even years, maybe I'll get Thanksgiving and New Year's, but on the odd years, I only get Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it is. So whether we're on good terms or on bad terms, we have a guideline to follow.
Mm-hmm.
For it. My birthday, no matter what day it lands upon, I have the right to have the boys. Same thing with her birthday. Certain other holidays, if it falls on a day, it falls on that day, and you have it on that day. But the major ones, the courts line it up. We have what is called a parenting schedule, and I'm telling you right now, 90% of the fights ended that day with that parenting schedule. It did. Ever since, and it cost a lot of money. I won't lie. It was like 4 or 5 court appearances. I lost over $8,000 in this, and it was a lot of money. But the peace of mind that I earned afterwards is priceless. I recommend to my bros right here on the last night, any guys listening, or any women listening that are fighting when it comes to parenting schedule, go to court. I'm telling you right now, it sounds terrible. It sucks. No, don't. Listen to me. Go to court. Ask the court to set a parental schedule if you guys can't agree. The court will give it to you. And whether you like it or not, the point is the fighting stops. It has to stop.
Right.
Because the courts have decided this is your schedule. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't, between me and you, or between you two, amend it.
Right. Or
legally,
I'll do you the favor and swap holidays and stuff like that.
But if for whatever reason you're in a bad way with them, all you have to say is page 3, Article 16, it says this. Mm-hmm. Take all your grievances to court. Let the judge rule on it. For better or for worse, it stops the fighting. Had I known this, because this happened in 2012. So the boys were, I had 8 years of battling before that. Okay. Had I known this, I'd have gone to court day 1 and had the courts, 1, dictate my parental rights. Because what I didn't really realize was men do not have any paternal rights. They don't. Women do. They are the primary parent. They have the maternal rights. They have everything. If a man does not go to court and have the courts dictate his paternal rights, all he has a right to is be on the birth certificate and pay child support. That's it.
Yep.
I did not know that
until
I went to court and I was told, you don't have any rights. You need the courts to tell you what your rights are. So I'm throwing that out there for all you men.
Which is fucking
ridiculous. Which is fucking ridiculous, of course.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
But I'm telling you men who are listening, who are thinking about having kids, not having kids, whether you're with the mother or not, understand something. When that baby pops out, your name can be on a birth certificate. You may be put on child support. You may be taking care of the kid. You have no legal paternal rights until you go to the court and have them dictated for you. That is the worst thing that I ever heard, but it's the truth.
Yep.
So, that being said, after having the courts dictated, more fighting. That's it. And now, even further years later, now we're talking 8 years later. So the first 8 years, fighting. The last 8 years, pretty much rigid with the court. Now we have the flexibility to be like, okay, well, you can have them full time, even though legally I have them Sunday to Wednesday. And like today's Thanksgiving. They're not here. They're with their mom. You see what I'm saying? And this is my year legally. But I don't mind. Because now that you have a foundation, if you get into a way where you're in a better position, and of course, as you guys saw in our part 3 of our thing, I'm in a better position. You saw her.
Yeah, she beating the shit out of you. Yeah.
Well, I edited that out. So anyway, I edited that out.
We all remember anyway. It's okay. We all saw it.
But I edited that out. It only exists in you guys' memories and in my face. But I edited it out.
She beat the fuck out of him.
She did not beat the fuck out of me. She slapped me fucking hard. But I asked for it. I did say she looked.
That was great. I'm sorry. I feel sorry for your face, but that was great.
It was great. It's just that I had to. This is what I'm saying, guys. When I say you can go to the video recap of it, and it's up there. But I cut just after her hand connected with my face.
Right here.
Yes, connected to my face. That I cut, not because I was ashamed or embarrassed, but because A, she hit me really hard, and B, I don't think you guys would have gotten it. You wouldn't. Not everybody understands the relationship. So you'd be like, holy fuck, how are you gonna let this girl fuck you, slap you in the face like that on camera? You're gonna post that. I didn't want to hear any of that. It's just, it's whatever.
And he had to take the tear out that slowly came down his face.
It was right here.
Do you know how long?
He had to move it over here.
Do you know how long it took for me to digitally remove that tear? Like, break my frame. I had to paint that sucker out. And make sure my eyes were looking red and watery.
Oh my God. And you heard the slap too. I'm sorry. I know we're talking about it, but let me just stop.
It was hard. It was hard. But that's our relationship, because what I do is I tease her and insult her with my words, but she's not as witty as I am.
So she's physical.
So she'll respond with, while I will respond with, something that my face will feel better in an hour. Well, my tease or my joke would be rattling her head forever. So I do the psychological attack. I'm single. So anyway, so now we're at a point now where we can swap days, and as long as there's no issues, that's it. Like, I gave her a hard time. Last episode, she, you guys know that I lost my grandmother, and so when she asked for the boys, you're on mute, Joe, if you're trying to talk.
Sorry. Right.
So so I teased her. I said, okay. I said, wow, she told the boys, hey, I'm gonna come get you. You're gonna spend, come spend the Thanksgiving, the holiday with me. And so I teased her. I said, listen, I just had suffered a great loss, and you're gonna take my children away from me and leave me in this house all by myself to wallow in my feelings and my crapulence. I said, you should be ashamed of yourself, just like that. And she said, but come on, just let me have the holidays. I said, no, I'm cool. Don't worry about it. Go for it. So, like, stuff like that, is that
you're a dick.
And now she'll call you. Now she'll call you and text you later and be like, are you okay?
Yeah, right.
How are you doing? Are you all right? Happy Thanksgiving.
But the funny thing is, like, she really wants you to, well, listen, how about this? I'll bring them back half this. No, I'm joking. Take them. As long as they want to go, take them. So
I'm just surprised about your Father's Day thing, though, because I don't have any issues on Father's Day. Surprisingly, I have no issues.
Well, it's not because it's Father's Day per se. Remember, Father's Day usually lands on a Sunday, and Sunday's my exchange day. Our exchange day is Wednesday. The boys usually go to school, and she picked them up, and that's how exchange. But Sunday, I physically have to go get them. So, and it always lands on a Sunday. So that's why. That's the only reason why. That's not the only reason why it happened, but that's part of the reason why it happened. Now, if it was a day where they're already with me, that wouldn't have gone down like that at all. Right, and mind you, this story happened a few years ago. many years ago, but a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying, oh God damn it, call her a bitch, and you know that's it. No, that was then for whatever reason then, you know. But that's why it happened, is because she had the ability to make it happen, because they woke up with her on Father's Day because she was still with them Saturday night. That's the reason. That's part of the reason why it happened. Was it inconsiderate of her? Absolutely. Did she know that I had plans? No. Should she have known that I might have had plans? Sure. Do I believe she had the right to delay my children coming back to me for her husband? Absolutely not.
Oh, that's insane. That's
absolutely not whatsoever. I don't care.
That's fucking insane to me.
You know, you can just, like I said, if you want them to celebrate with their stepfather, cool. Do it Saturday. You had them Saturday night, or do it when they come back. You didn't have to do it on my day. Not only just my day as Father's Day, but my day as in legally my day to have them picked up to, you know, my parental schedule.
Yeah.
But that was then, you know what I'm saying? And of course, you know, don't mind me if I still have a little venom about it, because it's one of the few things that irk me. One of the many
this is the reason why we brought it up.
As well as it should.
So, but you know, that's just the way it is. So I've had all parts of it. I've had the where Joe is now, where the inconsistency, the inconsideration, and the downright lack of courtesy for a parent. I've had it where it was rigid, where the courts have said, this is it, and we followed it to a T. And now I have a hybrid of that. No, a hybrid of the courts and just us being cool. Because, A, I made it that way. You know, it's all me. And because we have a good foundation, and we've spent enough time with that foundation where I can ease up on the restrictions. And it's much better now. So there's your answer. Long talk, sorry about that, but I had a history to talk about.
No, and you know what? Again, me having history as well. Like in the beginning, after the breakup with the breakup with my son's mother and I.
Yes.
It was the same thing. You know, we would battle it out and be like, oh well, this and that, and being the more professional. And I mean that not because she's retarded. It's just I was in a higher level of like management at my job, so that obviously requires, you know, more time, especially around the holidays, because I worked in retail and I wanted to slit my wrist every day that I worked.
Jesus Christ. My job.
Retail sucks.
Healthcare sucks worse. It's like retail where people are sick and need
all the time. Then it's more needy, I guess you can say, more demanding.
Yeah.
But retail always, it's high in demand in the holidays, and that's why the fighting subsided fairly quickly, because it's just like, you know, I'm always working anyways in the holidays. I never really have them off, and it's like, you know, if we can come to an agreement, which we eventually did, without getting the courts involved, then we'll follow suit with that. But if we can no longer agree and work things out amongst ourselves, then we'll go to court. And there was actually a time that we did actually start the court process. We went in there, and her lawyer was attacking me, doing all this stuff. Like, you can have this, he has nothing. And like you were saying, no parental rights. You know, you can get this, you can get that. And she's like, but he's not a bad father. He's not a bad person. He's always been there to help me and my son. So why would I screw him over?
Right.
And then right from there, we dropped everything and we decided to do everything ourselves. So for everybody out there, you know, just try and work it amongst yourselves. And if it doesn't work, then if you have to go through the court process, do what you have to do. You know, it's for the betterment of the children, not for you.
Yeah.
You know, the children are what matter, not your personal feelings, not your personal beliefs. You know, get that out of your head, because you can think that the sky is blue, but if your children find out that it's a different color, are you going to fight them on it all day? No, exactly. Let it go. Let it go.
I would.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Joe. And it's funny you say that, because I used to be that way. Now, mind you, I didn't go to court because I wanted to go to court. I went to court because she sued me for my parental rights. From what I could tell from it, she was trying to strip me of my rights. That's what she was trying to do, right?
Right.
For whatever reason. And so I didn't go because I wanted to. I went to defend myself. I went to defend my wallet. I went to defend my parental schedule. I went to defend, because what she wanted originally was to have me go on like that typical father schedule every other weekend. Mind you, I had them literally 50%, right. A little 50% of the time.
That was the reverse of mine, though.
What?
Up here. Because that was different, because I had proven things that I think most people wouldn't have proven in court. I mean, and
Right.
they gave her the every other weekend stinge, not me.
Well, wait, because I kind
Yeah.
of won. I kind of won myself as well.
Yeah.
I became the primary parent. She can't move more than 50 miles away from me without letting me know, like stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
so it happened as well. You know, everything she had asked for originally, they ended up giving to me. Even child support, they even reversed child support and made her have to pay me child support for a time, and have to pay back all the money that they took from me. Because
I'm not going through anything that I'm currently gonna, like, you guys are talking about it now because it's already over for you, but I'm currently still going through it.
No, of course not, and I wouldn't.
Not
I wouldn't
saying any of it.
I would absolutely not. No, I would. Yeah. No, go for it. No,
It's ugly. It's all I can
Zip.
say.
In a year's time, you will bring back. We will bring it back up.
Yeah.
Back around.
There'll be a part. Yeah, this will be a part 2 to this.
Yeah, there'll be a part 2 of this. But so I've been there, but that's the reason why I ended up going to court, because she sued me, and I had to hire a lawyer and everything like that. And it was that year was the single most excruciating, traumatizing year of my life. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it. I will never forget it.
Yeah.
Ever. No matter how friendly I am with her, I will never forget it. I will never say that. I'll never look at her and say, you're not my enemy, because you are. You know, some things will happen to you or done to you that you'll never recover from.
It's crazy. I'm just thinking about it now. Just recapping the plans today that I have.
Right. Sorry.
No, we still have. But it's the funny thing about it is that I had told her, all right, look, my Uncle James lives in downtown Brooklyn now. He lives like right by the Manhattan and Brooklyn Bridge. There's like a apartment complex, whatever. So the drive there, especially I guess on a day like this today, up in New York over here, especially where I live, it's got to be like at least a 30-minute drive. I mean, that's just going down like, Jay, that's like going past you, going towards the city past your mom, like on Flatbush.
Okay.
So I'm guessing, I'm going to take a wild guess that traffic might be a little bit bad today, but if it's not, thank you, car, for your engine. I appreciate that, fucking bitch.
You don't know if it was a guy or not, or a girl or not.
Yeah. So with that being said, the plans today were to go over there, right? And right now my son is not with me. He's with her. So what I was told to do by his mother was to come pick him up. Now, mind you, we got to be at my uncle's by 4, because he was saying how, like, something about how, and I never heard this thing before. I think he's like bullshitting because he don't want any of us to be late. Like, oh, the building, the security guard over there will not let you in past 4. I think he's probably lying, because I've never heard of that before.
Right.
But he's like, yeah, you got to be in before 4. So his mother wants me to come pick him up at like 2:30 p.m. Right? Have his, because I have like a shirt for him in the car. Have his shirt on. Bring it over there. Have his shirt on. Pick him up. Come back. Pick up my fiance. Then pick up my mother, and then finally go there. So when I explained the inconvenience of this, in one ear, out the other. It just doesn't matter. Just oblivious. Doesn't care. Doesn't matter. What am I supposed to do? Cook early? Yes, you are. Cook early and then probably celebrate it tomorrow. You can have him back tomorrow and just do a little after Thanksgiving thing or whatever. I don't see what the big deal is. To me, I don't see what the big deal is, but apparently this is a big thing for her. So I don't get it. But I thought that really irked me because of the inconvenience that I have to go through to drive all around Brooklyn to go pick up, 3 people. It's just out of my way, and that's what I don't like.
Exactly.
It's out of my way. I don't like being out of my way when I'm doing things. I like things to work out smoothly, especially since I'm not working today. I'm off. It's a holiday. I don't want to deal with it. So this is why I made this episode. This is why I brought the topic up for this episode, because I don't appreciate that.
Right. It's the lack of consideration. It's being inconsiderate, and that's one of the biggest things that bother me is inconsiderate individuals or inconsiderate baby mamas, I guess, people,
DMs,
the other parents,
Yeah.
And it happens because some parents, when you have single parents and you have guys, all three of us, none of us are weekend fathers. We are all, to some degree,
Full-time
or part-time fathers. Or me, I moonlight between part-time and full-time. I've been full-time for the last year, and I've had many, many times throughout my parental life where I had to take them on full-time. So at the very least, we are, part-time-ish, full-time-ish parents. We're not the typical every other weekend father. None of us are, in any way, shape, or form. We are completely involved, and yet we seem to have been saddled with baby mamas.
Bullshit.
Well, that too. Who treat us as if we are
bullshit
inferior parents. If we are not there. If we are literally a paycheck father, and that's not right, And of course, I'm speaking from the past. Now, I think she appreciates me a little more now, but a little more though. Yeah. So,
no. Besides that slap in the face, I don't know.
That's not well. It's slap in the face.
I think that was a slap of love.
That's a slap of love.
You know what they say? They say that you always hurt the one you love. So she still loves me because she slapped me freaking hard. But no,
keep all the sharp objects in your drawers, then, buddy.
Listen, well, it's true. But you know what? It's simply put, I wouldn't get slapped in the face on camera if I would stop teasing her the way I do. So I kind of brought it upon myself because I brought it upon myself. You guys really should watch that episode. That's one of the few times I'll say don't listen to the episode, watch the episode. The part 3 of our
all you gotta do is invite her over for hookah, and you guys are good.
Lace that shit.
Why? So I can wake up and I have like limbs missing? No, I'm good. But so Joe, since you have not, you haven't really gone to court per se.
I have, but
do you have a parenting schedule?
No, they awarded me. Okay, so here's the confusing part. I think we're in 2020. This had to be like maybe 2014, 15. Yeah, either between 2014 and 2016.
I want to make it very clear that Joe and I, our situation with our kids' moms and our parenting life, it's eerily similar. They're parallel, but like I'm his future and he's my past. So you see, I did my court thing in 2012. He did his in 2014, 2015. And it's literally, he's playing catch up. Like everything that I deal with, he deals with literally a year or two later, which is the funniest thing. So that's why I'm really connected. I'm being dead ass. Everything that I go through, literally a year or two later, he tells me the same story. I'm like, Joe, I just did that like fucking last year. What? Seriously.
So it's that actually is pretty funny now I'm thinking about it.
So in about 2 years, he's gonna get slapped in the face on camera by his baby mama. So
yeah, that already happened to me anyway.
But not on camera.
No, not on camera. No. That will never, because of the circumstances of living of me.
That's what you think. But I'm telling you, you're gonna get to a point where you find that it is easier to be friendly and nice than it is to be consistently.
Well, here's the thing about that I'm glad you mentioned those two words, friendly and nice, because the thing is, and the weird part about it is that the only reason these issues with the holidays only come up during the holidays, and when
you want to move.
Yeah, no, actually, no. That's the thing.
I know.
That's where the friendly and nice part comes in.
My child ain't going nowhere, bitch. That's what she said to him. So listen, I listened to your podcast. My child ain't going nowhere, bitch.
Not the bitch part, but maybe the first.
You fucking asshole.
You fucking piece of shit.
You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere, Joey.
Oh God. See.
No, I can't. But we are essentially we are very cordial, right? We are. It's just those little bipolar incidents that occur again on the holidays that I don't understand.
You know what it is, and I've noticed this more and more as I have these discussions with men and who are parents. Apparently, it's the day. We just all we discussed this earlier. The day doesn't matter to us. We don't give a shit. We'll celebrate another day. The specified day doesn't have old meaning to us.
Right.
But it's more of the day to women. You know, like, oh, I want them Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, give them back to me Friday, and I'll just have turkey dinner with them on Friday.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit. Like, what's the problem?
Right.
And that's where the issue comes. And I wanted to say this earlier and jump on this. You know what really grinds my gears? The inconsistency and the inconsideration that the other parentals have, but they expect the opposite.
Yes.
So it's like, I'll inconvenience you on whatever day that it's yours.
Yes.
But you can't do that back to me. And that's how I spent the last year or so of my marriage.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about this though. We talked about the hypocrisy of women. I brought it up. It is hypocritical, but specifically what you're referring to is the hypocrisy of the other parent. And I absolutely agree. I've dealt with that for years. Where I said, like, for example, had something like that. It was Mother's Day, and I delayed Mother's Day for her, so they can dilly dally along with whoever I was with. I would have been destroyed by her. She would have verbally destroyed me. And how dare I? But the roles being reversed or the tables being flipped, nothing like that. A, because I didn't address it, and B, she didn't find anything about it. You know, so I absolutely agree. There are many examples of things that she inadvertently or purposely did to me, where if roles were reversed, she wouldn't have appreciated it. So I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely agree with that.
And what aggravates me more, I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
They always bring in, like, when they're in another marriage or another relationship, it's like, oh, I wanted to do it for this person. Like, who gives a shit? Like, do that on your own time.
Yeah.
Those are my kids. You know,
I hate,
you want the same respect. You want to give it, you want to give and take, just doesn't matter. Leave that other person out of it. Oh, but they're here now. I don't care, because who's to say 5 years down the road that they'll still be there?
Exactly.
As their parent, I will always be here.
Exactly. Yeah. It would make sense if we were like shitty fucking fathers and we weren't doing anything with our kids.
Right.
And then they had the right to say that, where it's like, oh, you know what? His father's not really there, so I'm going to keep him. But then you see like 3 men who have kids who actually want to have their kids during these occasions, and it's like, you're still fighting.
And you're punishing them. You're punishing a father for being a good father.
Yep.
You're punishing a father for being a dad.
And then you're still punishing them if they weren't a good father. Like, what do you want?
Exactly.
The fuck do you want?
I've mentioned this before on this podcast, where at some point, whether we are friendly or not, I spoke to their mother and said, listen to me here, woman. When it comes to baby daddies, you could have gotten way worse. Be real with me now, okay? So why are you giving me a hard time for about certain things? So I totally agree. But here's the thing, and I realize this, and I'm not saying it's all women, but I realize that their insistence of having the day is for show. It's for,
of course it is.
It's for social media.
Everything is for show for them.
It's for family gatherings. Because could you imagine a mother going to a family gathering? Where are the kids? Oh, they're with their dad, and it's
right.
So that's really what it is. It's not necessarily that I need to have my kids on that day. It's for show.
That is.
You want to be able to post on social media that your kids are with you, you're having a great time, or you want to attend family events with your kids, with your family unit, say, we're rock solid. We're here together. Because of the stigma of, well, why aren't they with you for the holidays? You're their mother. Regardless of what's going on legally, regardless of what's going on parental schedule, that's what it is. And I learned that, not the hard way, but I thought about it for years. Why do you give me a hard time about the day? And I realized you want to be able to show up and say, my kids were together.
Yeah.
Because people want to see that. People people are voyeurs, and people also like to expose themselves as well. Don't get me wrong, I like to post my kids too, but I don't care. If you go through my timeline, you'll see how many times I posted Christmas photos a week late.
Right.
That's when we did it.
And that's the crazy shit. A day or two later doesn't make a difference. It's nobody else's business. Yeah, but
it's for show.
It's nobody else's business what happened the day of.
Yeah,
let it go. It could have been a week later. They don't know the difference.
Because God forbid the kids aren't with their mother for these special occasions. God forbid. Because the mother pushed them out the vagina. I'm being bitter. Yes, I'm being hyperbolic.
No,
Yes,
I hear
but
that
I'm
all the
also
time.
being
It's not
honest.
bitterness. It's
I'm
truth.
being honest. But that's what it's
I hear it
about.
all the time.
It's for show. It's for show. Did I tell you?
It's
I
truth.
don't know if I ever mentioned this on the podcast before, but my boys, without saying it, but they prefer being with me. They just prefer it. Now, I'm not saying I'm better than her, but the home that I created is more peaceful. I think they have a lot more freedom. I think, and whatever it is, it's not as demanding here, not as loud. This is what I think. This is just my impression. Okay, where was I going with this? I just lost my train of thought. No. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So, and it's been like this pretty much since my boys could really think. You know what I'm saying? They would find ways to come back home or want to come home to me, and that's fine. It's not a problem. And again, I'm not saying she's a terrible mother. I'm not saying her home life is crappy. But what I'm saying is that everybody has a preference. You prefer to be somewhere else. And in my opinion, from their actions over the years, they prefer to be with me. Fine. So she's been catching on a lot lately. Not lately, but lately in the past, right? And she like got upset because I think because what they used to do is they used to say, "Hey mom, can I go back to dad? Hey mom, can dad come pick us up?" And she would take it personally. She'd get upset, really upset. And so would her husband apparently. And one day, from what I understand, she snapped on them and said, why don't you ever want to be here? Why do you always want to go back there? Okay, I'm the one that gave you life. I'm the one that brought you into this world. He didn't even want you, right? She said something like that. So when the boys, they just happened to tell me, and at some point, for a little bit, I started calling her life bearer. I started saying, hey, what's going on, life bearer? What's up? Since you are the one that bared life to them, and because she said, why do you want to be with him more? You should want to be with me. Basically, what she was saying, and this is a true conversation.
Choose the life bearer.
And so for a hot minute, I called her life bearer. As a passive aggressive stab at her. Hey, check it out. And yes, I will admit it. I was a reluctant father the first year, but you're talking about 14, 15 years ago. Yeah. I haven't been that guy in 14, 15 years, and I have no reservations. I am ashamed, but I have no reservations to not admit that I never wanted to be a father. Having kids was a terrible idea.
There's nothing wrong to admit that. Okay? That's fine.
Listen,
nothing wrong.
I never wanted to be a father. I never had that want to have a family. I never
because and can I ask you, is it because of your father?
No. It has nothing to do with how I grew up and how I was raised. I never had that want to have children, and I think more or less it was just the environment and the world that we live in today. Like I don't want to fucking raise kids in this shit.
Yep.
Like who wants to do this? Like, are you crazy? And then I had 3, and I'm like, I'm fucking crazy now. Like I'm doing it.
Yeah. For me, it was my relationship with my father. My relationship with my father, and he was absentee. He was there. But he was there.
What'd your father call me, by the way?
Huh?
What's your father?
He called you Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe. That's my new nickname.
Smoking Joe.
Smoking Joe.
So my relationship with my father was like an authoritarian, like warden and prisoner kind of thing. If I had to do it like that, and I hated it. It's why I left. The environment that was there back when I was younger was toxic. So that's why I left to Florida for college. I needed a break. I got stuck, but I needed a break. But I made it very clear, I will never have kids because I never want to turn into my father. I never want to visit the sins of my past on my children.
Yeah, revisit that, yeah.
I don't ever want to do it. So when she got pregnant, and of course it was very stupid behavior on both our parts, I lost my shit. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like it was a principle, a fundamental principle of me. Jason will not have kids because he refuses to perpetuate the cycle. He's not. He's fine. She gets pregnant. She wants to keep the baby despite my protests, and I lose it. So that's my principle of not wanting to have kids. I'm in college. I'm a junior. I haven't even got my degree yet. I have to now go in my opinion, it's a huge mistake. It's going to derail my life. I have to now go home and admit this to my family. Add all those pressures to a 19-year-old.
Yep.
What else do you expect to happen?
I'm familiar with that.
I am not condoning my behavior in the past. I'm not saying I was right, but what I am saying is you need to understand context. I was young, and I was 1,400 miles away from my family, and my ideologies was being challenged, my worldview was being challenged, my future was being challenged, and all I asked, I saw no way out, you know. So yes, I didn't want to have kids. So yes, I reacted negatively to my firstborn. So yes, I was kind of like mute to my secondborn, you know. But that was the first year. I'll even give you a year and a half. After that, I looked in the mirror and said, "You need to tighten up, bro." And that was it. Never again did I slip up. I had to grow into it, and some men never grow into it, especially that young.
No, bro.
I was a father to be 19 years old. I was
not just that young, our age now.
Our age now. I was a father to be at 19. I was a father at 20. I was a father of 2 by 21. I had 2 kids before I was able to legally drink. I had a car seat before I had a car. Understand where I'm coming from. So, yes, do I regret my behavior back then? Yes. Why? Because I cannot imagine my life without my kids. I would love to go back in time and look at myself, my younger, thinner, handsomer self, and say,
slap yourself in the face.
No, say, bro,
you're a fucking idiot.
It's gonna be great. Trust me. But you have to understand, I know who I was back then. I will look at my older self, older, tighter, fatter, and I will say, I recognize you are the older me, but you're wrong. That'll never happen. I will never be okay. That's how I felt back then. That I know I can look at my future self and still tell myself, you're wrong. That's not true. You're lying. Yeah. That's how she got my life. So, and that's really the only thing she can hold against me is the first year and a half of my life. Because, yes, I was attached. And I still see my kids. Absolutely. I have a picture with my firstborn. And even though I was furious that I was a father, in that picture with my firstborn, I'm smiling in it. Now, I have no memory of this picture being taken, but I have it. And that picture of that 19-year-old, no, that 20-year-old, that 20-year-old with a yellow do-rag in his pajamas in bed, holding his firstborn child, knowing that his life is over, knowing that he's stuck in Florida, knowing that he's going to pay child support or figure out how to take care of this thing. He's smiling in that picture. That informed me that there was always hope for me. There's always hope for me. So I don't know where I was going, but it's like, what did you do, Joe? You get something out from the depths.
You know what it is? Joe gave his emotional bullshit to you. Yeah. And now you both are on your emotions today. Yeah. Me, I'm just like, I gotta work today.
I was talking. I remember all the phone calls that me and you had.
Yeah.
As I was living with my kid's mother together, and I had to call him up all the time. Yeah. Every week I called him up about what was going on because I couldn't cope. That was a lot. I had to deal with a lot.
It is. I understand completely, man, because there was times where I would deal with on the holidays and I'm just like, what do I do? Like, how did I get here? What am I doing?
Exactly.
Like, where I just want to see my kids. I just want to see, whatever. I can't.
Yeah. Why are you treating me this way? I'm I'm a good father. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. So I understand that completely. So, the situation that I'm currently in right now, it's a little different.
Right.
It's still fresh. It's still in the works. It's still in the momentum. So, she doesn't see it that way right now. My son's mother, it took her some time, but once she got there, she was just like, I can't fault you. I can't do it. Like, we both screwed up. We were young. It was
exactly
what it is.
That's called maturity.
Right. Yeah. We grew into that. So, give it a few years. And I'm pretty sure I'll be like that.
No, absolutely. Time heals all wounds. I didn't say erases them. I said heals. Most wounds become scars, visible scars that you can see every single day. But time heals all wounds. And as long as you're receptive to change, you're receptive to growing, then yes, things will get better. And but you need to something needs to be a catalyst. For me, it was going to court. For me, it was getting the courts to say, this is the schedule, abide by that. This is me saying, if you don't follow it, you're going to go out to court, kind of thing. So when it comes to the best way I say for any man or woman listening to this is, if you are finding that your parenting schedule, your holidays, anything is a consistent issue, go to court. Spend the money. You don't have to really hire. You don't have to hire a lawyer, right? You don't.
They appoint you one.
You don't. They can appoint you one, or you can do it yourself. What a lawyer does for you is expedite the process. They do it for you. But there's nothing that a lawyer does that you can't do for yourself. It's just that your line is longer. You got to take more time. I only hired a lawyer because I didn't want to have to take time off standing in lines to submit this paperwork, get this notarized, get this stamped. Believe it or not, this is real. Lawyers and counsel, they have their own entrance or their own line to get into the courts. They're quicker, it's expedited. They have their own lines that are quicker to get documents sealed and formed to the public. Literally, the court here, there are two lines. There is counsel and there is public. The public line is always this long. The counsel is like a quarter of that line because it's quicker. They get preferential treatment. That's why I hired a lawyer. There's nothing that my lawyer did for me that I couldn't do for myself. I'm that smart. Yes, you're real that smart. But if that's what's holding you up, I don't want to hire a lawyer. It costs so much money, and it does. Then don't. Take the time to file a petition for yourself. Take the time to air your grievances, put it out there, but also be aware. So what my lawyer told me.
It's going to take time.
It's going to take time, but you also may encounter a judge who may not see it your way. Accept that reality, but still do it. Because the peace of mind that you get after it's over is great. And nothing that happens in court is set in stone. You can always go back to court and get it reversed or changed, but at least you have something.
Yeah, and it's not just for the schedules or the holidays either. It's
everything.
For everything.
Every and anything.
Everything.
Every and anything. In the 5 court appearances that I made in 2012, every single complaint, every single issue was aired out and it was ruled on. Not everything that was ruled on I liked. I didn't. Whereas one thing, the court said, well, since the kids are on her husband's insurance, then he'll be responsible for their insurance. And I looked at the judge and said, what? I said, what do you mean he'll be responsible? He said, if you want to keep the money in your insurance, Mr. Grant, then that's extra. That's a gift to your kids. But you don't have to keep insurance. It's gonna fall upon the stepfather. And I said, what are you talking about? I said, why would you give him the legal responsibility to keep insurance, because he had the insurance for her entire family, plus her other kids. So it made sense in his eyes. Why would you give him the legal responsibility to keep insurance for my children when I'm here, I have insurance, and furthermore, and I looked at him and I said, how do you account for divorce? What happens if I drop them from my insurance? Because you're telling me now I don't have to do it. And if I do it, it's my choice. Right. And I'm not legally obligated to make it. Because he said to me, Mr. Grant, why would you want to put them on your insurance? Why would you spend that extra money when it's already on the stepfather insurance? I said, because they're my kids. What do you mean? This is when my lawyer grabbed my leg and started squeezing because she saw the frustration. She didn't understand it either.
Shut up, sit down.
She didn't understand it either. And I said, furthermore, Your Honor, how do you account for divorce?
Right.
I think it's 48% of marriages end in divorce. 48% was the last thing I saw. Okay. So what if they get divorced? Then what? I've dropped them from my insurance. Then what? What are you trying to say?
This. Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. And so even though I won, there are certain things that I did not agree with. That was one of them. The boys are still on my insurance, by the way. I've never taken them off because I don't trust him. I don't trust her with that. So what I'm saying though is that you have to be understanding and recognize the fact that you may find a judge. And I think this judge had to be a stepfather because he seemed like he didn't like me at all the 5th time, because I had 3 different judges, 5 different court appearances, whatever. I don't think he liked me because I clearly had an issue with the whole stepfather thing. So you have to be receptive to the fact that if you go to court, you might not get your way. You might not get everything you want. You may not get a ruling that you want, but it's still worth it in the end. It's still worth it to have the fighting end, because guess what? And don't get me wrong, the fighting didn't end like this. We still fought for a couple weeks afterwards, maybe even a month. But guess what you get to do? You get to bust out that paper, point to the page, point to the actual ruling. The fight is over.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to, you don't have to compromise, because it's right there, black and white, and it is legally binding. And if you want it to change, you got to go file a petition, maybe hire a lawyer, and then take time off,
all over
and go through it
again.
again. And guess what? After a while, you're not going to want to deal with that. You're going to say, these are the rules. It's fine.
Right.
Please go to court, guys.
First things first. If you can work it out verbally, and for some odd reason, in a miracle, the other parent is mature.
Miracle.
The other parent is mature.
I'm sure there are plenty of examples where people have been amicable, in this separation, but it's not the norm.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, it is abnormal.
It's
which is
probably
unfortunate.
20%, I guess. I don't know.
Probably,
it's like some low percentage.
19%.
Yeah, but if you can work it out verbally, then fine. But if you can't, then absolutely what Jay and Manny is saying, get your ass to court, man.
And if at all possible, make your agreement together and have it notarized between you two.
Absolutely.
Have it notarized. Here's why I say this. And I again, this is 2012, guys. It's still fresh, but it's 2012. We're not there now. But when she took me to court for to strip me of my rights, to put me on child support and all that other crap, she tried to request back child support for a couple of years, from 2004 and 5 to 2012. She tried that on me in 2007 by putting me on child support. And I said, listen, you put me on child support? And I had no, mind you, it's from the dawn of time. I've had the boys at least 50% of the time. At least. So she had no grounds for it. She did in 2007. And in 2007, when she did it the first time, I said, okay, you know what? You're going to do that to me? We're going to go to court for parental rights. And she backed down. But I had her sign and notarize a paper that said, we're not going to do this. I'm going to end child support. I will not ask for arrears. And I will, and in turn, I will drop any pursuit of parental rights, whatever. I had that notarized. I held on to that paper. 5 years later, when she tried it again, and she asked for arrears, I was able to present this document, and it shut that down immediately. No arrears for you. Shut that down immediately. It shut it down immediately. No, you can't ask for arrears because you made the agreement with him. There's a date. You signed it. Notarized. Bam. So I'm not saying it's kind of like a prenup, but I'm not saying, guys, okay, well, you're good. Shove it in their face. Here, put it in writing. But put it in writing. I would recommend that. No matter how great and how great you are or whatever, put it in writing. Because it helps. It really does help. It helps. My lawyer loved me.
I felt like I've awoken a beast within Jay about this, because he had more to say in this about than I did.
I'm sorry, because your topic is a sore your topic is a sore topic for me, because I went through it for years in the past, and as I'm revisiting it, it's like PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm reliving I'm like all these images and all these memories and all these examples keep popping up in my head, and I'm trying to like push it back down, because if not, we'd be going forever.
With that being said, I know time is almost a factor.
Time is up.
Do you guys have any final words or thoughts about this topic of holiday woes with baby mothers?
Go to court. It helps.
Manny?
Again, try to do the mature thing and work it amongst yourselves. If that is not possible, go to court, do something, have something written down and notarized. And remember, it's for the betterment of the kids. It's not about you. it's about them. You know, leave your feelings, leave your emotions out of it. It's about the kids and what they need and what they want out of it. Don't designate the particular day. You know, holidays are just, they're one day a year, whatever. You can celebrate them at another time. You know, what's more convenient for you. Sometimes people aren't available to do things on the holiday. Do it the next day. No one gives a shit. No one cares. It's no one else's business what you do with your family. It's yours. Right. So be respectful, be considerate, and keep it moving. That's it.
Yeah. And this is coming from three men who have had and currently still going through the experience of dealing with all this. So, you know, in regards to people that may comment on this episode saying that we don't know what we're talking about, we actually do, because we're going. Experience is the key to a lot of things, and if you don't have it, then I guess this episode wouldn't even have been made. But we have the experience, which is the reason why we created this. So yeah, I agree with these two gentlemen. Definitely.
Yeah, you agree with me.
Look, if you can work it out cordially, then do so. And if you can't, then absolutely, you're gonna have to go to court to fight for your fucking life, because that's what's gonna be.
Let this be a helpful reminder for people who are stepping into that role as a step parent who don't have their own children. Be mindful to not just the spouse or the person that you're currently with, you know, look at the other side of the fence on what the other parent's going through and what they have to feel with.
Absolutely. And
all that. So let just, hopefully this is like a short scripture of what you're going to get yourself into when it comes to these holidays. Stepping into that role as a step parent, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that the step parent conundrum is actually going to be an interesting topic that we should visit that another time, because, well, of course I have words about that, but, and I think that we have words about that and what it does and does not mean, especially when the parent is there. You are muted again, Mr. Joe. What it does and does not mean when the parent is still there, the other parent that you're quote unquote substituting for on the other parent's side. But we'll get into that. I want to talk about that because I have my own gripes about that. And FedEx. And I see it in the background. It's great. So, all right. Well, that's it for Last of the Nice Guys. Episode 30? It is 30, maybe?
Yeah,
maybe
30. It is 30.
I think it's 30, yeah.
I think it's 30. I forgot. That's what you're mentioning the the episodes, because it doesn't make any sense. I'm Jason.
I'm Manny.
And my connection was great. And I'm Joe. My connection was good this time.
It was good, and we saw his face. We saw video.
Yeah, we got everything.
Yeah, so just let you know, we got the full thing, yeah, baby.
Yes.
Right. We are the Last of the Nice Guys, and thank you for your time.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys. Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.
This is an audio production of Vibe Revelation Studios, the cure for your common day. VibeRevStudios.com.